Hey everyone, so you're most likely clicking on this video because you want to learn how to collect, invest, slash just kind of maybe interested in the card collecting scene and how big it's getting. My name is Alex. I want to walk you guys through card collecting if you're interested. Personally, I do a lot of just personal collection. I do some sales on the side just to keep myself afloat, anywhere between 500 to 1,000 just from reselling cards and investing in small little flips here and there. But I'll teach you guys how to do that in a later clip. But today is just for getting started in the hobby. And I have 5 chapters that I want to kind of just go in, talk about, and see if I can try to reach and help at least one person out there. Before we get started, comment sections down below. Answer and reply to every single comment. So if you guys have a question, right down below, I will be able to answer anything you guys put in there. 5 chapters, here we go. Chapter 1. We're gonna start getting into this now. The first thing I wanna talk about is location. Right here, you have the USA, Canada, and I wanna talk about North America first. So with North America, and probably the worldwide, if you can get Topps Panini leaf drops, however you want to call it, which brand you want to choose from, and I'll talk about which one you should choose in a bit, always getting them straight from the website is the best. So if you can get them on drop release date, that is exactly what you want to do. You want to be there on drop time, buy them at that retail price, not the resale price. So retail, most likely in this industry, in this hobby, is going to be the best. First thing I want to get into about location. If you can't get it off the websites, if you're in North America, you got Target, you got Walmart, Barnes & Nobles, Home Depot, and my Europeans are probably like, what are you guys talking about? We don't sell them anywhere here, like barely have any like local card shops, but that's another thing. USA, Canada, North America, you guys are blessed when it comes to this hobby. Every single sport. You have Walmart, Target, Barnes & Nobles, a lot of those places sell them and sometimes even on sale. And I'm gonna talk about which boxes you should buy, but just keep that in mind. Your big retailers are probably gonna have them and you've probably seen them, but there are some big ones to avoid. So keep your eyes out for those. I'll talk about those. Now, my EU people, maybe my North Africans, South Americas, all those places, the big thing for you guys is try to get there on drop date. You're always paying more outside retail. Even card sellers, resellers, local card shops, they're most likely selling you out of the Topps and Panini website or Leaf or anything like that. The best thing that you can do for your wallet is to get it on the website. So unfortunately, you want to kind of hold up, wait, and try to get something right at retail. If you have a cool local card shop, if you know some people around there, I can link a few, but most of them are going to be selling it for more than what it's worth. But if you do want to get your hand on some stuff, then I think Dave and Adams in Europe, they work really well. They have a lot of good prices and a lot of inventory as well. Most of the time in Europe, you're not going to see anyone selling it too much cheaper than them. You'll see some odd things, but that's a big thing that you can kind of check in on. And I definitely recommend looking into Dave and Adams. I'll link them below. Now, what I want to talk about into chapter 2, but before we get there, when it comes to your location, if you have in the general area local card shops or local places and events that maybe do like card swaps, meets, you can go in there and trade and collect and talk with other collectors. Those are really cool. They're not too prominent in EU, but North America, that's pretty big. But chapter 1 summary. If we know how to get our cards, where to get our cards, that's gonna give us a good step. Now, chapter 2, I'm gonna talk about what to buy. And this is the good part. Now, I think the best thing I can tell you going into chapter 2, do not buy things like match attacks or the kids kind of cards if you're like an investor, if you're a collector. Those cards are not gonna hold so much value. They're thinner prints, they're like, and by thinner prints, I literally mean like really thin papery like prints. I don't recommend match attacks. I don't recommend things like superstars for soccer or things like that. I'll list a few probably here that I recommend. You wanna look for your chromes. You wanna look for your hobby boxes. You wanna look for some Panini Donruss, Immaculates, and I know that's just a lot of words right now, but I'm gonna link those boxes here and I'm gonna talk a little bit more into them now. I'm also gonna post up a few that I think you should kind of look at. Flagship hobby box, it's cheap, it's good to enter. You're guaranteed an autograph or a relic, and they're good cards. They're good quality cards for collectors and investors. Getting into card collecting seed, you're gonna see things like whatnot, breaks, live breaks, and I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more now. So don't worry, that's coming up. Before you guys buy into any breaks, there are some huge terminology I wanna kind of touch base on, so keep your eye out for that. But for chapter 2, I wanna summarize here. Chapter 2, what to buy, what not to buy starting off. What not to buy, stay away from your kids' match attacks maybe even like the MLS superstars and things like that, stay away from that. What you should buy, if you have a certain team that you like for example, Barcelona, Liverpool, Arsenal, Topps, and other brands like Futera, Leaf, and everything like that, they release team sets. Now, I'll tell you which ones you should buy and which ones you should not buy. Now, what you should buy, any team set from Topps, any team set from Panini, I don't think they release any, but from Topps, they're all licensed. You want to buy licensed boxes. They come with relics, they come with autographs, and some are a little bit cheaper. They don't come with anything, but they just come with that team, and you know what you're getting. So you're going to be able to purchase your own team. So even if you end up just getting all, base cards, maybe just one numbered card or anything like that, then you're going to be happy because it's your team, right? So what I highly recommend doing, looking into those boxes starting off, look into maybe that flagship I talked about, look into your team sets if you have any. Now, I want to quickly touch base on when you're buying to take a look at those Daka Holocene. I know you've probably seen them doing some quick research like what is Daka, what is it Chinese. Now, they do have official licensing. It's different than some brand like Futera, which I'll talk about as well. But Daka, Chinese brand, they have official licensing, but they're meant to bring the awareness up in China. So you have Chinese symbols on the back from the letters, Mandarin, I think simplified Chinese as well. And look, I'll be honest, they don't hold that much value. You can have a great card from there, but a lot of the time it's not that big collector chase card. I mean, like if you can't read what's on the back, then what's the point, right? So a lot of the times you want to take that into account. So I would put Daka and Holocene really low on my list. Other than that, I'm gonna look more into Leaf and Futera. Now, Leaf, they are real cards, they're in English, but they don't have licensing for a lot of the things, so that's also just maybe one above Daka and Holocene, but maybe stay away unless you have something like crazy. Like they have some crazy autographs of like LeBron James, Curry, and Lionel Messi. Like those are cool, but you'll see that they don't have like a Messi jersey with Barcelona. They won't have Barcelona, just have the colors. Other than that, you'll have Futera, which have like the official licensing. But with Futera, they're just not that, crazily well known for in the soccer scenes for soccer and everything like that. They are very well known and they are very reputable cards. I think they're underrated. I would put those into probably start buying. Like if you see some there and you see some cards that you like, I would definitely buy. Some boxes that you can probably get for the cheap good amount, I would buy as well, especially if you've got your team set. Now, they don't have licensing for every single nation, but if you have your team set, they will have your team logo. And then other than that, Panini, Topps, King at the Pinnacle, I can't put one over the other. They're pretty much the exact same on that level. They're gonna be competing for a long time. Panini is gonna have your World Cup rights and stuff like that, so I think that's until 2026. If you have any questions, link them down below and let me know the chapter. Now we're going to chapter 3. Chapter 3, I wanna talk about terminology. First term I wanna talk about hobby boxes, and then like blaster boxes or things like that. What's the difference? Hobby box is typically gonna be like that main release of a certain drop. So for example, here we'll have the hobby box for Panini Donruss. Panini Donruss hobby box, you're gonna have one autograph and one memorabilia per box and a bunch of different cards, a huge base set and all that stuff. Now you're also gonna have a blaster box for that, which isn't guaranteed an autograph or anything like that, but you're gonna have that kind of base set cards, which is cool. You're probably guaranteed some cool parallels and things like that, but nothing really big to chase. But that doesn't mean you can't get autographs or anything like that. It just means you're not guaranteed. A lot of times I know people who pull some crazy, crazy expensive cards from blasters. So don't write them off. They're just not the guaranteed stuff. Now, you also have things like wax. What's wax? Wax is literally just like a box. This is wax. If you buy a sealed box like this, that's you buying wax instead of buying like a single, which what it sounds like is a single card. Kind of like this. One single card of Harvey Elliott. Now, should you buy single cards? Hell yeah, for sure. If you like a single card and you like it, you see it at a good price and a good value, which I'll talk about how to figure that out in a bit, 100%, go for it. If you find a good wax box, go for it. When it comes to terminology, the biggest thing I want you guys to kind of know around the scene when it comes to terminology, it's going to be for live breaks. Now, for live breaks, if you're going into a live break, you're heading into, let's say, a Whatnot, Fanatics Live, anything like that, let me know if you guys want me to do a more in-depth tutorial on live breaks and how to go around those, I can definitely do that. But for today, live breaks, let's say for live breaks, you hop in, you see PYT. With PYT, that means pick your team. That basically means you're gonna be picking a team, I don't know if it sounds right, picking a team, and whatever you pay for that team, that's gonna be your team for, let's say it says PYT for the whole case. That means the whole case, in case, means like how many ever boxes are inside of that case. So that's one hobby box. A case of that has 12. That means for 12 hobby boxes, you pick your team for Liverpool, for example. You'll have every single Liverpool card usually within that team, unless somebody sells otherwise or anything like that. But live breaks for me, the terminology in there, they can get very confusing. So PYT, PYP is pick your player. So same thing, but just for a specific player or players, depending on what's going on there. Now, would I recommend live breaks? Yes, if you can use them to your advantage. And I'm gonna have a separate video on live breaks, but just for starting to get in, I'm gonna say avoid some live breaks for now, and then rip your own boxes. See what cards you get. And a lot of the times I'm gonna teach you guys now as well what is valuable. And that's kind of what I wanna get into with this terminology. Parallels, numbered serial cards, auto, on sticker auto, on card auto. Now, what those mean? Numbered parallels. That basically means that card is numbered from either 1 to 1, 1 to 10, 1 to 99, 1 to 250, 1 to 500, whatever it is, the lower, the better. So you want that number on the right, that's a numbered card, to be as low as possible. 1 of 1 is the most valuable just because there's only one of that specific card in that color. Now, a lot of the times it can get confusing. You're gonna have a 1 of 1 of a card that looks like maybe a 1 of 5, but you're gonna say, what's the difference? But that 1 of 5 is gonna have that 5 next to it. It's gonna be a little different color. Sometimes that 1 of 1 will be a gold color, a black color, or something like that. And you'll see the difference. It'll say 1 of 1 on it, or literally just the number 1 / number 1, if you know what I mean. Another thing I wanna talk about for terminology, on sticker autos. That basically means the player who autographed on the card did it on a sticker first, and then they sticked it to that card. Still valuable, still awesome, but not as valuable as an on-card auto, which is as it sounds, it's on the card. Now, other things that you want to notice, rookie cards. Rookie cards are only released for 1 year of that certain player's career. Right now, the hottest rookies that you can see have an RC next to it, and you're looking for Yamal, you're looking for Endrick. Those are like the big chases right now. So if you can get some cool Endrick autos, rookies, or anything like that, that's the big money at the moment. Of course, you're looking for your Messis on stuff, but for terminology's sake, that's what we're gonna talk about right now. So this is kind of like chapter 3.5, I guess, but I wanna talk a little bit more about those types of boxes. For example, so over here, I have a open box of Merlin, but it's a blaster box. That just means, for example, you're gonna see this fine ultra thing card, cool. But really the big thing is here, I wanna show you guys on this end, and let's see if it just goes into focus here for a bit. So you're gonna see, I'm not sure if that's also gonna go in there, but you're gonna find inserts, the blue parallels, you're gonna see 150 base card collection, all that stuff, 7 packs per box, 4 cards per pack. And then with these ones, you're gonna find 3 Aqua Prism parallels, and those are exclusive to these. So for example, that means you're not gonna find Aqua Prism parallels in the Chrome version of that. And that means for something like this is the hobby box. In this one, you're guaranteed 1 autograph and 2 parallels per box. That means you're getting 2 numbered cards per box. And that means you're gonna be getting 1 autograph guaranteed per box. And that's what it means for blasters or hobbies. Now you also have things like jumbo. Jumbo boxes are like 3 guaranteed autographs per box, and then like a black laser from that Topps Chrome set. And you're gonna have things that are a lot more on the expensive side. For example, Panini has things like Impeccable. They have other brands and things like that in the Panini category that are like thousands of dollars per box. National Treasures and things like that that are going up and up in the thousands. So be careful with that. Topps also has some things like the AC Milan 125th anniversary box, or the Barcelona triplet box, which retail $500, $600 plus, resell for thousands. So sure you're familiar with people who buy low boxes and sell high. Don't buy the resale prices. A lot of times, if you can't get it close to the retail, just don't buy it. It's not worth it a lot of the times. What you're gonna get in there, they don't sell it above that price from the factory, so why would you buy it like that? Because a lot of the times the cards that you're gonna hit, it's not gonna be worth even the retail price. So rule of thumb, those boxes that you buy, I would say you'll probably make back 10% on average on value from that box. So if you buy a $50 box, expect to make around $5 really back. Could be more a lot of times, could be less a lot of times. It's very rare to be less, but on average. Now, chapter 4, I want to touch a bit on live breaks for chapter 4. With live breaks, use them to your advantage. They can be great if you're smart. Now, the smartest thing that I can tell you if you're just starting out, start a budget. Say, okay, for this month on a live break, I'm just gonna spend $250 on cards, say for the month in general. So if you buy a hobby box that month, do not go on live breaks. If you go on live breaks, don't do that. But at the end of the day, it's your money, you make your judgment calls. It's cool for investing, but if you're collecting as well, and it's kind of what I'm more focusing on today for collectors, let's say you go into a live break, you see a pick your team and you're an Arsenal fan. This guy's doing 2 cases, a huge thing, an Arsenal thing, and it's like $150 for 2 cases of this set, and you want to collect all that base set. There's a big chance that you're going to get at least the entire base set, which is cool for $150, and then there's a really good chance that you're going to get at least one numbered card, autograph maybe, or something like that, unless you're very unlucky. So for things like that, if you're smart, it can give you an opportunity that you wouldn't really have for $150. So I would highly recommend things like that. But going in there, buying just separate boxes, instead of you just ripping them yourselves and getting kind of fed into the habit of like, oh, everyone's spending money, I'm gonna spend money. Next thing you know, you're thousands of dollars in debt. And I know a lot of people that have that story on Reddit. So don't be that guy. Set a budget for yourself and just buy good deals. Go on big case breaks because that's opportunities that you're not gonna have. And just make sure it's a good price too. Don't go there and spend the $600, $1,000 spot on Messi or whatever. The chances of you hitting it is very, very rare. If everybody did after spending $1,000 there, trust me, the hobby would not be that desirable. Like those cards would not be that desirable if that was the case. So be smart, don't spend a lot on that. Use it to your advantage, big one. Hey guys, so really quick, I just wanted to go ahead and touch base on how to find some value for your cards. Now, let's say, for example, you can pick any card that you want, and let's say you're opening up some FIFA Select or FIFA Score. You're going to see this card over here. You're going to search up, let's say, Lamine Yamal. This is the card that you found in front of you, and what you're going to type in if you found that card in front of you is 2023, 2024, the box that you opened, Panini Score, the type of box that you opened, and the player, Lamine Yamal, out of 35. And that's a card that you're looking for. And right there, you can see one listed currently, but that is not actually the market price. That's just what somebody has it sold for, right? So the way you're going to check to see what it's kind of going for in the market, make sure that you got your regional eBay set up correctly. Go ahead and translate that for English for you guys. And then here, you can go to most recently sold, and then you can go to worldwide to see what it's kind of going around the whole market. So over here, we're going to see any of those that have been sold. And if you can't quite find the one, there's some similar ones. I saw an out of 15 that sold. I see an out of 10 that sold. This one's going for 447. I think the out of 15 was for 150. But you guys will notice there's other cards here, but we cannot find our specific out of 35. So I'm going to go ahead and check 130 point. It's going to check multiple sales databases. And this is another way that you can kind of see just in case. And since you've already found your card listed on eBay, what you can do here is just go ahead and copy paste it. And so if I can find that over here, there it is. So let's go ahead and copy paste this over, and we're gonna go ahead and see if there's anything kind of like this that's been sold. You can check to see, change the terminology a bit, maybe change the hashtag from the number and do things like that to see what you can kind of find. But just based off right here, this is the only one that I can kind of see in the market. It's gonna pop up here and show us some more, but then say no matches found. So maybe an out of 35 has not been listed or sold yet. There's probably other websites that it can be. But to give you a little bit more of a, I guess, description here, this one's being listed for $15 at the moment. When this listing ends, that's probably going to be the marketplace. It could be like the only one that's been listed at the moment. But for something easier, I'm going to search up Gakpo Auto here, for example. You're going to find a Gakpo autograph here of a card that you have. Let's say you have this purple speckle. You see the listing price for this guy selling it for 20 bucks, but again, potentially that's not really what the market is. So what we're gonna do is just go ahead and copy paste that into 130 point potentially. And then through 130 point, it's gonna go ahead and pull up the last sold one. So the last sold one I can see here was accepted for around 15 euros. So this guy is listing it for about $5, $4 over market rate. So you can probably go ahead and try to message him, negotiate it, or you can list it for probably a little bit lower, probably around closer to 16, 17. And that's pretty much how you're going to find out all of the prices for the cards that you're wanting to sell. It's not so hard. Some of them are a little bit harder than others, but if you have any questions, you let me know. Overall, that was around my 4.5, 5 chapters of tips. Kind of rambled on here and there, but it is a lot of information, and it's a lot of information to cover in one video, but I just want to get you guys started. For you guys, that's a big thing. If you're coming in, you're a soccer fan, and you want to go ahead, okay, what box should I buy, Alex? I would recommend the flagship to start if you can get it at around 100 USD, maybe 115, that's okay. But going to live breaks, if you could find yourself into those live breaks, like I said, 2 cases, 1 case, it's at a decent price for a team that you want to collect. That's pretty cool. It's a good way to get started, but I would always recommend ripping those boxes yourself. Come on, it is so much fun. And then if you start getting a little bit more into it with that budget, I was saying, okay, get into some live breaks. They're pretty cool. Now, I'll go into how to flip your cards, invest your cards, and kind of spread some good vibes across community, how to ship and all that stuff, because those are pretty big. But overall today, I want to touch base in, if you're just starting out, I'll list some boxes to buy probably over here. I'll probably put a little bit into the description. You'll see me texting around in there. So go ahead, take a look down there. I'm sure I'll list some boxes for you guys too. But if you can get anything retail, I'll list the ones that you should get, but stay away from match attacks and those cheaper boxes like superstars or something like that. You can spend your money, get a lot more bang for your buck. But if you guys have any budgets, go ahead and list down below. Be like, hey, I have a $150 budget, Alex. What do you think I should get? I have 250. What do you think I should get? 500, exactly. And I'll make a list probably a little bit later down the line, maybe into a couple days, of what boxes you should buy at those different categories. But I want to say thank you guys for all the support. We're at 120 subscribers, and I did tell you I was going to do a giveaway. Now, I'm waiting to go over to the Topps Rip Night. Now, Topps Rip Night is happening in my area right now, and I'm going to get a lot of cool boxes. And I saw you guys over there. I see some Arsenal fans. I see some Argentina fans, and I'm thinking about doing something cool. I want to make everybody happy. Some people are asking for Chrome, some people are asking for Team Set, some people are asking for some Arsenal stuff. I'm gonna get all 3. So you guys, breaking it here right now, I'm gonna get all 3. And what I'm gonna do is, for that 500 subscriber special, is I'm gonna give away all 3 of those boxes in total. But until then, what I'm gonna do for the 100 subscriber special is give away 1 of those 3. So what I decided is 500 subscriber special, all 3 are gonna get given away to 3 different subscribers. Right now at 100 subscribers, I'm gonna give away 1 of those 3 boxes. It'll be on a wheel, it's gonna get spinned around, and then that'll be the box, and then it'll be a wheel for all the subscribers who are commenting under this video, and everyone who comments under this video will win whatever is rouletted of those 3 boxes who commented on this video. So hopefully that makes sense. But thank you guys so much for the support. 120 subscribers right now at the time of this filming this video. Just want to say thank you guys so much again. It is an honor doing these videos. I love it when you guys comment under here and all the support that you guys do. And if you guys need anything else, let me know. My name is Alex. And anyone new in here, thank you so much for tuning in. Comment down below, ask your questions. This is a great community, and hopefully I can try to help even just one person. See you guys. Take care. Peace.